Science is not the body of science only. It gives you the wholesome reflection of the nature and disseminating paths to sustain a very robust life on the planet. This is science, in my opinion. Though in the technological shift, nature and technology both are making a very good proximity to each other to unfold the n million dollar of the myth, and that not only saves the time and giving you a kind of the confidence to understand the battle inside as well as the outside. I mean to say, civil war, which is very much ongoing in our body system, and the civil war in the outer system, in the outer world. That is very important. So, my objective is to understand this body language, this body system is a kind of the internal nature. So, I welcome you all to my session, and of course, today's title is Gut Microbiome. In my last previous videos, I have explained to you how brain system is very much integrated and giving the ultimate commands to the body organisms. That is very important. In order to further the knowledge system, the where you have seen the microbiome. Microbiome is a very powerful pocket in our digestive tract, and of course, this gut microbiome, it means the gut feel good factor, whatever he is saying, have been already they have been decoded by N, and with the different angles, medical sciences, basic sciences, other kind of the technologies in the engineering branches are also formulating the via medias and trying to understand this complicated mass, that is microbiome. So what is microbiome? Microbiome is the kind of the hub, or you can say the stock, which is very much fragile, diverse by nature, and of course their sitting locations, of course they never sit idle like us. They are always proactive and given the target. If they are not active, then they go and vanish. So this is their signature. But at the same time, we need to understand how they behave, how they sit, and how they act. These are three important things I have taken in today's class or my session. You can see these microbes are very much in the happy mode, because you are giving very natural kind of the signals to them, sustainable factors you are giving for their sustainable growth and development. So they are very much in the dancing mode, very much in the cool situation in a given conditions. That looks like a very healthy ecosystem nowadays. So this is the content outline of my today's session. What is gut microbiome and its impact on health? It is very important line. Impact on health. Of course, only understanding the microbiota in the gut system is not the end of the journey. We need to understand its existence, potential existence, and how it is impacting on our health. And then second is where and how much. Of course, that is very crucial parameter to understand and making adjustment with our body system, and of course serving the best out of it so that we live. And you can see this picture is very fascinating picture, giving the adapted from the Getty images, and of course credit goes to Steve. And this complex you can say gut system is giving the kind of the comforts, and of course giving the kind of the fitment theory. They are not sitting randomly here and there. It is a very meaningful positioning of the microbiota. Microbiota means it is having bacteria, having archaea, having fungi, having viruses. So list of array of microbes are sitting in specific pockets, in specific zones, and they are sensing each other and making the kind of biofilm. And so that is why it is very much complicated in our gut system. I would like to bring you towards from the genesis to the, you can say, highly evolved region. So where and how much is very important question. Then composition of this microbiota, and then significance. So these four important lines will make you and enable you with the microbiome system in our health. This is the track. How much? Diverse microorganism means it is the gut flora. Of course, we say flora and fauna. So gut flora is the kind of the population dynamics of the microbes. Microbiota includes bacteria, archaea, fungi residing in the digestive tracts of humans and other animals. Then gastrointestinal metagenome. Of course, in the science and research and technology, we are having a very interesting technological involvement, that is at the metagenome level. Meta means metadata analysis at the genome level. So you talk about the prokaryotic genome, eukaryotic genome. So this term refers to the collective genomes of the gut microbiota, highlighting their genetic diversity. This is very important. So this is one of the second parameter. Third one is the cell count. Of course, each human body contains a specific number of the load. That is very important, and it is said by the research that 40 trillion bacteria cells, and it is outnumbering the roughly 30 trillion human cells. So you can see the load and its equation is very complicated. Means the number of the cell count is very much predominant over the existing number of the human cells. How they are controlling, how our human cells are accommodated with that is very challenging task. And then health impact. The balance and composition of gut microbiota are essential for digestion, immune function, and mental well-being. So I have already mentioned in my previous sessions what are the basic and the advanced beneficiaries of this microbiota. Look at this picture here. Everything looks very cool, and of course humans are also enjoying ecological situations, ecosystems, and at the same time the microbial flow is also very much in the abundance. Trillions of microbes thrive primarily within the intestine and on the skin of the human body. So it is the kind of the you can say surprising, and it surprises human being. It surprises any you can say life in the world with the existence. So you can see the fate of the living being is very much under the control of the abundance of microbial population. So habitats. Habitat is very peculiar term in the biological microbial research. The majority of intestinal microbes reside in the cecum. It is a joint in the conjunction between the small intestine and the large intestines. So a pouch in the large intestine, collectively known as the gut microbiome. So I hope you understood what is the meaning of this gut microbiome. So you can see the long flow, and it is very much vibrated, very much you can say making a kind of the line of action because of its existence. So microbial density is also a very important thing. Of course, the density factor decides the fate of every activity in the human body, whether you talk about the metabolic pathways, talk about any kind of the you can say biochemical secretions, any kind of the you can say hormonal secretions. So everything is being controlled with a specific bioengineer, that is microbe. So ecological significance, it reaches microbial environment plays a critical role in maintaining health and influencing various body functions. So this is very much clear now. Categorically, I have explained to you that where and how much it is there in our system. Of course, one more clever agent, that is virus. It has its own entity, own domain. Of course, we do understand the virulencies. Virologists are working on these things, and of course, the majority of the health science factors are dependent on these things, because majority of the diseases, pandemics are arrived because of existence of this clever agent, this virus. So this virology, I will take a separate session on this viral agents and how these nanoscopic, microscopic, invisible, you can say threats are being actful and being huge threat on human population, and at the same time how human you can say bioengineers are working day night and giving the bouncer to them, and at the same time exploiting its you can say structural orientation and to the mankind. That is very important. I will take it. I'll take a separate session on that. Where and how much? In an individual weighing, of course, any individual on an average, people are having body mass 70 kilogram. The human gut microbiota gathers more than 100 trillions microorganisms and weighs about 200 grams. So you can understand the proportion of this microbiota sitting in your gut in the different locations is very much proportional, means 200 gram of the microbiota is controlling the 70 kilogram of the mass, and that is why your mass is become very much vibrant until unless you are alive, right? So the human genome consists of about 23,000 genes, whereas our microbiome encodes over 3 million genes that produce thousands of metabolites. So you can understand it's a very tricky statement. How come it is being accommodated? Our majority of the genes are sitting idle. You must be knowing, being a biological student and understanding anything about the gene or genome level, then majority of the genes are sitting in our body, in our genome is idle, because uh, because maximum you can say uh, portion of the genomes are occupied by the introns, and at the same time these genes are not being candidate genes because they are not given opportunity by the you can say environment, so that they are not having the extra position to work upon, and at the same time irrespectively this you can say 3 million genes you can say decoded in the genome of the you can say prokaryotes microbes. These are all very much proactive because they having the very short tenure to work upon and very fast to give a kind of the product. That is why this is the kind of the justification behind the you can say equilibrium equations being maintained. Here the human body, and it is very much surrounded, means human is surrogated by the microbial population, and of course microbes are meant for accommodating the human life. It's very much vivid and loud. So composition, a diverse array. Of course, I had told you this is very much diverse. The array of microbes are situated in our human body as well as in the nature outside, and of course both of them are making the equations exogenously as well as the endogenously. The microbes, those are sitting in our system in the gut, known as the termed as the you can say endogenously found. So you are first exposed to microbes when you pass through your mother's birth canal. Now the genesis happens. Understand how it starts. Its journey is very interesting. The moment mother conceives you through the birth canal, at that point the kind of the inoculum is being given there in your body, and new evidence suggests that babies may come in contact with some microbes while inside the womb. But at the same time, clinical researchers are saying, the fetus must be isolated at a very incubated zone, that is isolated zone, that is in the womb. And womb is having very least number of the permittance value for the microbes. So it is a kind of the discussion in the discussion mode, but still n number of the researchers have given their own individual statements and trying to say this consolidated line that when you pass through your mother's birth canal, you perceive, you can say starts to have the you can say programming of the microbiota. Although there is a core consisting of bacterial groups common to all healthy humans, it has been estimated that 1/3 of the gut microbiota is common to most people. Means we do have the similarity matrix as far as the microbial populations are concerned. That is why our genome is having very much proximity, very much similarity indexes with the microbial existence, and then accommodating more than 30% of the microbes are very much similar across the human population, right, around the world. That is why our you can say behavioral of the metabolic systems are very much common at max level. Gut microbiota composition is mostly unique to each individual. That is why it makes you very much individualistic, very much signature, and many more things. So factors over which human can take action. Feeding methods. Of course, these are the, you can say, your flow chart of your diet, which you are, where you are very much dependent. Altered intestinal microbiota. Based on these input parameters, of course, your microbiota also responding and corresponding and changing its ecosystem. That is very important. So you have to be careful. Of course, when you can say mother give the breastfeeding to the you can say newly born baby, then of course it is a solid, it is a very much you can say immunogenic substances. Medications, antibiotics, acid suppressants, dietary habits, and the way food is cooked, environment and lifestyles, and n number of the other kind of the, you can say, the factors are involved in, you can say, fiddling with the ecological set in our gut system. So factors, again, genetics is very important. Geographia also, you can say, change the ecological pyramid, ecological niche of any human body. And of course, accordingly, geographia is also changing the host and its dynamism as far as the surrogation is concerned. So gut microbiome and bacterial genome is also one of them. Geography is also one of them. Gut anatomy and physiology, host genome, diet, antibiotic exposures. After all, these all integral input parameters are, pushing and giving the bouncers to the host. Host means we human body. And of course, we need to survive against all these odd and even terms and conditions. So ultimately, who holds the throne in your gut? Microbiome. So if you are bombarding against them, then suddenly n number of diseases arrives. Disease, very important, of course. At the end, septicemia, you must be knowing, is the ultimate threat in our human system. Once you are exposed to the drug abuse, then suddenly your microbiota is going to punish you badly, and of course its entire chain and ecology is going to be mesmerized, going to be defunct, and then there is no hope of the life. Healthy compositions. So these are the healthier compositions of the bacteria. 60% gut microflora, then dominant genera. So this is the kind of the database. Of course, I have already told you Firmicutes, bacteroidetes, actinobacteria, fusobacteria, proteobacteria, and of course their settlement process and their establishment process. It means our body system, our gut system is having the provision to accommodate them in a very specific chamber, and accordingly they act upon. This is the healthy composition. Of course, number of unknown microbes that are still under investigation, what they are doing in our body system, and each day we are being exposed to the new strains because of our, you can say, bad dietary charts as well as the other you can say nuisance programming. Significance of gut microbe is very interesting. Digestive health, I have already told you, it is helping to break down the complex carbohydrates and giving you the readily available, you can say, essential nutrients. Immune function, of course, it works as the development and regulation of the immune system, like immunomodulator, and then mental well-being and the metabolic regulations. So as of now, this is the summary. I am trying to summarize in one line that this microbiota is very important friend for you, at the same time big foe or threat for you if you are not understanding its behavioral mechanism inside the gut. Thank you so much. Stay healthy, and please do like and subscribe my session video. Thank you so much.